the woman that we named this place after, Marchesa Luisa Casati, was also a fashion and art icon. And so she definitely has been a major influence. And we look at her life and her love of throwing fantastic parties.
When did she live?
So she was born in the late 1800s in Milan to a very aristocratic family, very wealthy, with a sister. And her parents passed away. And so she and her sister were very wealthy heiresses. And she kind of grew up in that, like Edwardian switching into flapper era, maybe just even a little bit earlier than that. But she went from being very proper to being very extravagant. Her motto was, I want to be a living work of art. And so she dressed, she had her couture made by all of the designers of the day, like Paul Poiret, who I have a picture of over my shoulder. And she would do things like dress like a chandelier, and she'd stand at her party with crystals dripping over her. She would paint her staff in gold paint and have them passing things out. She had a wax figurine of herself, that she would have stuffed and sitting in her beautiful villas. She lived in Paris. She lived in Milan. She lived in Capri, and she had a very beautiful home in Venice, which is today the Peggy Guggenheim Museum on the Grand Canal. And when I went to the Peggy Guggenheim Museum, maybe 5-6 years ago, I've always enjoyed it. I've been lucky to go to Venice a couple of times. And I didn't realize, and we'd already picked the name Marchesa, but I didn't realize that Marchesa Casati had lived in that very same building. And there's a lot of books about her life. There's a very wonderful archive website that you can find, maintained by her family to this day, that have pictures of her. She was painted by everyone. Sculptures were made of her. All sorts of homages to her are at your fingertip. And she was admired by Karl Lagerfeld. Tom Ford has done a study of her. A couple of years ago, I think Christian Lacroix did something. And so you stumble into the rabbit hole of Marchesa Casati, and you find that you couldn't look for a better inspiration. We call her our entertaining muse, because when you study her life, she liked to live over the top and throw, crazy wild parties. She had a pair of cheetahs that she would put Cartier diamond collars on, and she would walk them through San Marco Square in Venice. And all of this history out there, and there are books about her. We sell some of the books about her here. We have a small gift shop, and so we sell mother of pearl caviar spoons and books about Marchesa Casati. We sell champagne sabers, so people can pop open a bottle in a celebration. And so one of the ways that we pay homage to her is in cheetah accents. So we have cheetah plates, and we have cheetah carpeting, and we sell cheetah blankets. It's one of the ways that we can kind of connect to her and her style. We have pictures of her in various places.